Have you ever wondered why grief can feel so incredibly overwhelming, almost as if a part of you has been taken away? It's a sensation that leaves us feeling empty, as if we're being swallowed by a black hole of desolation. This profound sense of loss can often be difficult to articulate, yet it's an experience that's all too familiar to us as human beings. Grief, in its myriad forms, is a complex tapestry woven with threads of sorrow, longing, confusion, and at times even guilt. It's a universal human experience, a shared language that transcends borders and cultures, connecting us in our shared humanity. Yet, grief is not solely tethered to the loss of a loved one. It's an emotional response that can be triggered by myriad forms of loss. Perhaps it's the loss of a coveted job, the end of a cherished relationship, or even the death of a beloved pet. Each loss, regardless of its nature, has the potential to evoke grief, serving as a poignant reminder of our vulnerability. In essence, grief is our emotional response to loss, a testament to the depth of our feelings for what we've lost. It's as if our hearts, in their infinite wisdom, understand that to truly honor our losses we must feel them deeply, we must grieve. Yet, as painful as it may be, grief is not an adversary to be vanquished, but rather, a companion on our journey towards healing. It's a process, a winding path marked by peaks of sorrow and valleys of acceptance. It's a testament to our resilience as humans, our capacity to endure, to adapt, and ultimately, to heal. Remember, it's okay to grieve, to feel the weight of your loss. It's okay to cry, to scream, to sit in silence. Each tear, each scream, each moment of silence is a step forward on your journey through grief. Grief is a deeply personal journey, unique to each individual, yet it's a path we all must tread at various points in our lives. So let's embark on this journey together, navigating the intricacies of grief and loss, and finding our way towards healing. Did you know that there are 5 commonly recognized stages of grief? This intriguing concept was proposed by a Swiss-American psychiatrist, Elisabeth Kubler-Ross, who dedicated her life to understanding human grief. Let's start with the first stage, denial. It's that initial shock, the disbelief, the "this can't be happening" moment when we first encounter a loss. It's a defense mechanism that buffers the immediate shock, a way for us to cope with the overwhelming pain. Denial is a common response to help us survive the loss, allowing us to pace our feelings of grief. Next we have anger. As the masking effects of denial start to fade, reality and its pain re-emerge. We are not ready, so we may redirect our emotional intensity to anger. We might aim it at inanimate objects, strangers, friends, or family. Anger is an anchor giving temporary structure to the nothingness of loss. Then comes bargaining, the stage of what if and if only. It's a desperate attempt to negotiate away the pain, to regain control. We may find ourselves making deals with a higher power, pleading for a reversal of what is, or fantasizing about what could have been. Bargaining is our attempt to postpone the inevitable reality of our loss. Subsequently, we sink into the 4th stage, depression. It's not a sign of mental illness, but rather a natural and appropriate response to great loss. We feel numb, disconnected, and might withdraw from life. It's our mind's way of giving us permission to grieve, to come to terms with what we have lost. Finally, we reach acceptance. It's not a stage of being okay with what has happened. It's about accepting the reality that our loved one is physically gone and recognizing that this new reality is the permanent reality. It doesn't mean we're all right, but it means we start learning to live again, but differently. Now it's crucial to remember that these stages are not linear. We don't tick them off one by one. We might find ourselves oscillating between them, going back and forth, sometimes stuck in one for a long time. Everyone experiences these stages in their own way, in their own time. Also, not everyone goes through all these stages, and that's perfectly okay. These stages are not a roadmap, but a framework to help us identify and understand what we might be feeling. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to grieve. It's a highly individual and personal process. So, why is it important to know these stages? It's because understanding these stages can provide a framework to help us make sense of the chaotic whirlwind of emotions that accompany loss. It helps us feel less lost in our grief, and gives us a language to express what we're going through. It's a tool, a guide, to help us navigate through our unique journey of grief. Understanding these stages can provide a framework to help us make sense of the chaotic whirlwind of emotions that accompany loss. We hope you're finding this video helpful and insightful. If you are, we'd love if you could hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and leave us a comment below. Perhaps you'd like to share your own journey through grief and loss. It's always comforting to know we're not alone in these experiences. Your engagement helps us create more content like this. Now let's continue our exploration of grief and loss. So, how do we navigate through the stormy seas of grief and loss? This question, though simple, carries a depth that can sometimes feel overwhelming. But don't worry, you are not alone. There are tried and true strategies that can help you cope and heal. One of the most important coping mechanisms is seeking support from loved ones. This might mean reaching out to a close friend or family member who understands your pain. It could be as simple as sharing a cup of coffee and a conversation, or as profound as shedding tears together. Remember, you don't have to face your grief alone. Another potent tool for coping with grief is joining a support group. These groups can offer a sense of community and understanding that is often hard to find elsewhere. They are a safe space where you can share your feelings, hear others' stories, and realize that you are not alone in your journey. Expressing your feelings through creative outlets is another beautiful way to cope with grief. This could be through painting, writing, dancing, or any other form of self-expression that resonates with you. Art, in all its forms, has a unique way of capturing the complexities of human emotions and can provide a therapeutic outlet for your grief. Practicing self-care is another critical aspect of coping. Take time to nourish your body with healthy food, engage in physical activity, and ensure you're getting enough sleep. Listen to your body and give it what it needs. Remember, it's not selfish to take care of yourself, it's necessary. Lastly, if your grief feels too heavy to bear alone, don't hesitate to seek professional help. Therapists and counselors are trained to help you navigate through the complexities of grief. They can provide you with tools and strategies to manage your pain and guide you towards healing. Before we move on to the next segment, let's take a moment to remind ourselves of something important. If you're finding this content helpful, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below. Your engagement helps us to continue creating content like this. Now let's get back to our discussion. It's important to remember that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to dealing with grief. Each person's experience is unique, and so is their healing journey. What works for one person might not work for another. It's all about finding what works best for you. One thing to keep in mind is that it's okay to have good days and bad days. It's okay to laugh, to find joy, and to live your life even while you're grieving. It doesn't mean you've forgotten about your loss, it simply means you're human. It's also okay to feel a multitude of emotions. Grief isn't just about sadness. It can also bring up feelings of anger, guilt, confusion, or even relief. All of these emotions are valid, and it's okay to feel them. In the end, the most important thing is to be patient with yourself. Healing takes time, and it's okay to move at your own pace. Don't rush yourself or let others rush you. Your journey is your own, and it's okay to take all the time you need. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to grieve, and each person's healing journey is unique. So be gentle with yourself. Give yourself permission to feel, to grieve, and to heal in your own time and in your own way. You are stronger than you think, and with time and patience, you will navigate through the stormy seas of grief and loss. They say time heals all wounds, but what does that truly mean when it comes to grief and loss? When we talk about time in the context of healing, it's not a countdown to when we'll be over it. No, it's not about forgetting or moving past our grief. It's about learning to live with it. Imagine, if you will, a piece of fabric with a tear in it. Over time you might stitch this tear, but the fabric will never be exactly as it was before. The tear, the loss, has changed it irrevocably. This is not a bad thing, it's simply a truth. And just like this piece of fabric, we too can mend from our loss, but we will never be the same as we were before. And that's okay. Time in this sense is about patience. It's about understanding that healing is not an overnight process. It's about giving ourselves the grace to feel our feelings, to cry, and to grieve. It's about allowing ourselves to be human, to be vulnerable, to hurt. And with time, we gradually find a new normal, a new way of living that incorporates our loss without letting it define us. Patience also extends to how we treat ourselves during this time. Self-compassion is key. It's easy to fall into the trap of self-criticism, to feel like we should be doing better or moving faster. But everyone's grief journey is unique. There's no right or wrong way to grieve, and there's certainly no set timeline. So be kind to yourself. Allow yourself to feel, to heal in your own time. In the end, time teaches us resilience. It shows us that we can endure, that we can survive our loss. And eventually, it shows us that we can do more than just survive. We can thrive. This doesn't mean we forget our loss, it means we learn to carry it with us, not as a weight that drags us down, but as a part of who we are. In time, we learn to carry our loss, not as a weight that drags us down, but as a part of who we are. Before we wrap up, we have something to share with you. We understand that every journey of healing is personal and unique. To support this journey, we've curated a selection of health products, specifically designed to bolster emotional well-being. These items have been chosen for their potential to provide comfort and aid in times of emotional distress. From soothing teas to mindful journals, we have something for everyone. Each product has been carefully selected with the intention to help you navigate the intricate path of grief and loss. To discover these resources, all you need to do is to check the description box below this video. Remember, these are not quick fixes, but rather tools to assist in your process of emotional recovery. They serve as gentle reminders to take care of yourself, to nourish your mind, body, and spirit. These resources can serve as tools to assist you on your healing journey. As we come to the end of this video, we hope you've gained some insights into the complex journey of grief and loss. We've traversed through the nuances of grief and loss, unearthing the depth of emotions that come with it. We've explored the 5 stages of grief, and understood that these stages are not linear. They can occur in any order, and it's perfectly normal to oscillate between them. We've delved into the coping mechanisms for grief and loss, recognizing that each person's journey is unique. Some might find solace in the companionship of others, while others might prefer the tranquility of solitude. It's crucial to listen to your heart and take the path that feels most comforting to you. In our journey through this topic, we've also acknowledged the role of time in healing. Time doesn't erase the sense of loss, but it does help us to adapt and find new ways to live with it. It's a gentle reminder that even in the midst of pain, life continues and we can still find moments of joy and happiness. As a part of our mission to support you, we've shared some recommended health products in the description box below. These resources are carefully curated, aimed at helping you navigate through this challenging time. Before we wrap up, we'd like to remind you to engage with us. If you found value in this video, please hit the like button. It helps us reach more people who might benefit from this content. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss our upcoming videos. We would also love to hear from you, so feel free to share your thoughts or experiences in the comment section below. We understand that dealing with grief and loss is a deeply personal and often overwhelming journey. Remember, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to feel whatever you're feeling. It's okay to take your time. There's no right or wrong way to grieve, and there's no set timetable for healing. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. We're here to support and empower you every step of the way. We hope this video has been a beacon of light in a time of darkness, a source of understanding in a world that often doesn't understand, and a hand to hold when the path seems too hard to walk alone. Thank you for joining us today. Until next time, take care of yourself and remember, it's okay to ask for help. You are stronger than you think.